Goedemiddag, mijn broeder, zus, Misty. Het is goed weer. Kom maar with ik. Vincent Van Gogh, watermolen. I'm gonna take you, Misty. This is for my brother's wife, Misty. I'm sorry that the weather's so bad, or as we say in the Netherlands, goed weer. And it's a very cold day, foggy day, and but I want to get this video done for you, as I promised, and take you to Vincent Van Gogh's watermolen, or watermill, one of his famous paintings, and Starry Night. I'm gonna show you something real quick here. This is what we call one of the infamous cafeterias, or where you get the famous Dutch French fries, or frites with mayonnaise. No one puts ketchup on their French fries. That's like really bad. I do it once in a while and I get cursed. The mayonnaise is really good here though. So anyway, I'm gonna take you for a little tour. It's gonna be maybe a little bit long video if you want to speed through this a little bit. But I just want to show you some of the sights along the way and how close it is to my house. It's about a 20-minute bike ride from my house to the first watermill, and then also pretty close by is where he did the he got his vision for the Starry Night, and you can see the placard and the lighted pathway. See all the bikes? You can see how narrow the streets are. Super cold today. It's about 2 Celsius, 3 Celsius, I think. The red asphalt represents a bike lane or a bike path, and most of the time the bike path is separated from the roadway, and you're pretty safe. But here in some of the narrow places, they have them right up against the road, and the cars are made to slow down. I just got a ping, and the ping was actually Clayton sending a text message, I guess, or messenger. I'm going to take you to the old neighborhood and take a little detour, just a block or two, and I'm going to show you some of the very old houses like these ones. You can see all the bikes everybody has. There's a lot of old and new mixed together. Buildings from the war were torn down. Stuff was rebuilt. A lot of stuff stayed. And we're going to go through the old Phillips neighborhood. And the old Phillips neighborhood is where the factory workers are. Back at the turn of the century, there's the Phillips soccer stadium just 4 or 5 blocks from my house. It's massive. And we're going to now enter the old Phillips factory workers neighborhood. You can see the houses, and this is what it looked like in the turn of the century. from 1910 and 1905. Sorry if I rustle around a little bit as I adjust the camera. This is going to be kind of a rough video with just a straightforward video, nothing edited too fancy or cleaned up. So this is what it looks like. And they were restored, these buildings were restored back to the days of the factory workers. They're beautiful homes now. They all have been restored. They have 3 stories in them, believe it or not. They have one the ground floor, 2nd story, and then the 3rd story up in the attic. They're building a brand new apartment complex here. You see the workers up there. There's our Asian store. And here's a couple of very old buildings right here on the left. This one in particular. It's famous for something. You can see the placard on there. That was built in the 1700s. You see the parents picking up their kids from school. We got a trailer full of kids here. We're back on the same street. I just made a loop. And that's a Buckfeet's, mother with a kid in the front. And that's how you pick up your kids. That's the minivan. That's a Dutch minivan. People will fit up to 5 kids on a bicycle, an ordinary bike, just like mine, and up to 6 kids in groceries in a Buckfeet's like that. You see the tiny cars. So we're about 4 or 5 blocks from my house. Up here on the right on the building is an old, famous, very famous Dutch cycle company, auto company that built the DAF automobiles. And there's the mosque. A lot of the Turkish people can be nice. And now we're entering the, we just crossed the street. That's the inner circle that goes around the whole downtown city center. So we're literally about 8 blocks away. And here is a very old district and the old cafes, and this is parking lot, and the hotels are all full of the cafes and different things. These places are very old historical buildings, and it's beautiful here in the summertime. Unfortunately, everything is closed because of Corona. Het is zo oud. These are very old. And right up here on the right is the infamous, what they call coffee shops. And a coffee shop isn't coffee. Coffee shops are the pot smoking places, because pot's legal here. And they have the coffee shops where people smoke. This is a very, very tiny parking lot for bikes. This is nothing. This is our library. I hate when the scooters come the opposite way on the bike path. They speed, they have two people on them, they're heavy, and they go fast, and then they're not supposed to be coming the other direction. Straight ahead is the real center of Eindhoven. I'll take just a little quick spin in there in the center, town center square. This is Media Mart on our left. That's owned by eBay, apparently. And this is an iconic building here on the right. Looks like a clamshell or half a egg or something. This is where all the protests were that you saw. Underneath this tube, it goes downstairs and has a massive bike parking garage. You can take your bike on the escalator as this man's coming out. Hey. There's a bike just like mine. And this is the other end of the tube, and underneath here is the entire parking garage for about 5,000 or 6,000 bikes. You can see a memorial plaque for the 101st Airborne Division that's liberated Eindhoven, if you can see that. Straight down that road is the old church with the all the bones and bodies of the people from the plague from the 11th century. There's a small shopping center to the right. I mentioned to Clayton that was Decathlon, the sporting goods store. That's a small one. There's the old Phillips building straight ahead, if you can see that. And we're going to now enter underneath the train tracks. And then you're going to see all the bikes and all the people coming from the train tracks and things. That's the security guards for the coronavirus test and stuff. There's a big convention hall in there. In a lot of ways, this is kind of like downtown San Jose. A lot of new mixed with old. Those are the bicycle delivery guys for food. All the green bicycles and the green scooters are electric bikes and scooters. This is all just part of the bike racks. There's probably 10,000 bikes here on both sides. This is just only one little corner of it. And you can see all the bikes. This is the bus station. Need his hood for you. Young kids smoking already. Up there on the left, you can see the bowling pins or bowling balls. Clayton will like that. I didn't even think about it. If Clayton can see that. A lot of people hate it. They think it's kind of gaudy. I kind of have to agree. I like bowling and stuff, but to make it an art piece for the city is kind of weird. Especially when no one really bowls over here. More bike racks. Being that it's a very cold day and still in the middle of the day, there's not a lot of people out. It's a rare time that everybody's driving a car. Also, because of the lockdown, there's no college students right now. So there's not a lot of people traffic because everything's locked up. And now I'm going to go, this is the tech campus. This is the college university that's a very nice one. To the right of me, as I go over this bridge, there's a tunnel, and the tunnel is painted with John Cleese doing the Silly Walk. And John Cleese made a special appearance and actually came here for, oh look. Yeah, this place is crawling with people all the time and bikes. Everything's shut down. It's like a ghost town. And I'm gonna take you this way. I'll just stick my head in the tunnel and show you the John Cleese Museum, or mural, excuse me, not a museum. Sorry, my face is getting numb, it's cold. And it's not really pretty today. In the summertime it looks a lot nicer. And Deza on the left, this on the right. Het is the Domo Rivier, which is the Domo River. And this tunnel goes underneath the train tracks. And you can see John Cleese's mural. He came all the way from England to honor this when they opened it. All right, let's continue on, otherwise this video will be forever. There's a tech university again. We just made a U-turn, came back. And now gonna ride along the expressway that leads to where Lonica's parents live in Blottel. And this goes to Nuenen as well. I want to tell you, Misty, I cannot thank you enough for being good to my brother and taking care of him. And I'm very happy that he has somebody good, because he deserves that. And it just makes me really happy. All right, you may want to fast forward from here. There are all the kids coming home from school. The people here love their graffiti. Top. There's a school back in here, I think, and it's 2:30, and I think they have their group meeting type of things, but they're spread out, and they have to do like once a week. They have to come in, and it must be today because normally you don't see the bikes like this. Yeah, you can see all the cars. The kids are being picked up, which is not a normal thing here. I would say 80% of Dutch kids are either picked up by bike or the kids bike to school, all the way from first, second grade to, you can see the little kids here. Yeah. And they all bike to school, and they usually bike together in groups or 2 or 3 or more, which is really nice actually. It's a totally different way of living. We are not on a road. This is actually a bike lane. It was once a road and they turned it into a bike lane. Yeah, that has a high school in it as well as a elementary school, it looks like. The grades here are different than ours. There's more of them. They start college at 17. Depending on how smart they are or what they've been groomed for. The school system here really grooms the kids in a certain direction, whatever's best for them. And this is a beautiful farm. You can see the sheep. And this is a very, very old building and an old farm. It's been here since the 1100s. And they have weddings back there. It's beautiful, beautiful gardens. Right now everything's dead because it's winter. You see the kids still riding by. So that's their bike ride home from school. It's beautiful. And they have, I think they make beer here. They have beehives. The roof on the building is a thatched building. Very old. The Omas, they walk all the way home. The grandmothers. They're always watching the kids, making sure they behave for the most part. We're almost to the watermill. We're about 80% there. Right here on the right. It's a very old structure of the water bill. You can see this. Wait. See the very old thatched building. And if you notice that they cut the slots in the big logs to put your bike in. Dankjewel, het is mooi.
Ja? Wat zijn filmen?
Voor mijn familie. Voor mijn familie in California. Dankjewel. Fijne dag. He was asking what I was filming it for. Wait. Looks like two brothers. We're on the outskirts of Eindhoven. We are just leaving a very tiny roundabout. And we're popping into another, this is Nuenen, the edge of Nuenen. If you look up Vincent Van Gogh's, where he's from, or where he painted all his paintings, it's the town of Nuenen. Straight ahead over there is a very old church. It's a small church or medium-sized church. Very old house. And now we're going to go to the right, and this is the town of Nuenen. Straight at that way is Aaron's soccer field, and this is Vincent Van Gogh's little town. Very old houses, have been restored and fixed up. Beautiful, beautiful homes. These are like 4 houses in one building. And then of course in the 60s they built these very standard typical Dutch homes there. To the left of me is where Vincent Van Gogh painted his Starry Night. Is here? Nee. Oh, it's a little bit further, just past his garden. Nee, het is hier. To the left here is a collective garden. It's just gorgeous in the summertime. Right now everything is cut down. And mooi hondje. It's a beautiful Akita. And here you go, Misty. This is for you and Clayton and the kids. I know he's your favorite painter. Here's his placard, and this is just one of many. Aw, we'll have to show the kids the pony too. And there he is, Vincent Van Gogh. It's in Dutch as well as in English. And these, there's a trail of these markers for Vincent Van Gogh's village. And this is the pathway and where he walked and he painted in his visions, or all his psychotic vision, or his, I don't know what he had, schizophrenia or what, but is this pathway with these trees. And they honored him by making the bike path further up ahead here with little fiber optic lights, and they glow in the nighttime. And straight ahead that way, just on the other end of this path, there's another watermill, which is another watermill that he painted. I'm going to take you to the first one, and then I'll take you to the other one. Okay? Oh, the kids would love to see this, I'm sure. I'm sure Alana would love a little pony. In Dutch, it's a paarden, a kleine paarden. You can see the picturesque homes over there. It's mooi. All right, I'm going to take you to the famous watermill, or one of them. Up ahead here on the left, this gray building is a very old building, super old. And it's a very large nursery. It goes way back there. The guy's super nice. It's incredible plants. He prides himself on importing a lot of exotic plants from Asia and things like that, which are very rare here. A little tiny cactus in a pot. A little tiny cactus in a pot. You know, the little ones people put on their desk and things. Over here, they're super expensive. You pay 20 euros for a little tiny little thing. And look at this house in the pond. And this is what we have here a lot of out in the villages, because they didn't have enough money to build a church. So they have these little chapels, and they're filled with candles. Right now this one's closed apparently. Wait. Oh, there's candles lit inside. And people come in here, and it's their mini, small, tiny little church. And they're kind of dotted throughout the villages. This thing was built, I think, in 1850. And just about 4 or 5 football fields straight ahead is where the watermill is. This is the I'm not sure if it's less famous than the other one or not, but and you can see that right there, the bottom sign, the white one, Vincent Van Gogh's route. In the Rounja, Arounda is Eindhoven. This is the bike ride, and right here is a very, very old house. You've probably seen this in one of our videos coming the opposite way down that way. And this is one of the placards for Vincent Van Gogh's, a water molen. It was built in 1337. You can see that's the painting. I'm sorry, it's all in Dutch. And he painted the painting in 1884. And here's the other placard and a better picture, a larger picture of the watermill. We come out and we eat our lunch out there a lot. I think they have this in English here. Yeah, it was built in the 13th century. He painted the mill in 1884. And that's the infamous painting. So that's how close it is to our house. 20-25 minute bike ride. Takes the same amount of time in the car. And the streets are designed that way because they don't want you driving a car. They want you to ride a bike. So when you drive a car, you have to like go around the entire city. So it takes the same amount of time in a car to get here as it does on the bike. I'm going to insert some footage of the interior of the building of the watermill. It's a mill for corn and flour, and it also was a linseed oil on the left side. This side did flour, that side did linseed oil, and I'll pop that into the video so you can see that or take a look at that. I was lucky enough to be here one day, and one of the caretakers, a young kid, his father had been working here for 30-40 years, and his son's taking over, and he kind of let me in and take a quick peek for a couple of minutes. Let me show you the other side. Oi. And apparently this pathway or trail that leads all the way that way is an old hiking trail since the 1st century apparently, or it's an old Roman trail, and it's a very old well, obviously a very old river. And when we had the floods last February, I forget, or September I think it was, this is where it flooded all the way over, all the way out to those fields out there. The bridge was covered in water. The whole field out here was covered in water. And that's where in Germany they had the big Meuse River overflowed and had all those mudslides. It was pretty bad. A lot of people died, and people's houses were ruined. That same river connects to this river, and we got the trail end of it. They were pulling logs and all kinds of debris out of the water for a long time. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but it's getting dark here. But that's the front of the watermill that I just left. And I'm going to take you down to Vincent Van Gogh's lighted pathway or bikeway. Right there. This is a big cafe, restaurant. I'll pop in some other footage in the summertime when it looks a lot nicer here and you can see it. But we're gonna go back to the watermill and come back the way we just came. I'm gonna go to where the Starry Night is on that footpath and take you down the lighted trail. Okay, we're back here at the Starry Night placard, and I'm going to take you down to the pathway that is lit with the fiber optics. Oh, wait. Hello. Hello. People love to walk. People will walk for 2 hours and they'll do long walks. Like I probably walks all the way from Eindhoven or something, the pathway that I just took or something. It's amazing how the people here will walk miles and miles. And it's a typical Dutch thing to do, is go walk your dogs or go for long walks. Yeah. Wait. And right around this left turn is the beginning of the bike path with the lights in it. And And I think you can already kind of see them glowing on the ground. I'm not sure if you're able to make that out, but that's a pathway. Maybe it's not quite dark enough yet to have them totally glowing bright, but it looks like a bunch of stars, just like his painting. And as you can see out here is the countryside and the farmland. In the summertime, the cows are out here. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully the kids will like it with the pony. I love you guys very much, and I'm so happy I got to talk with my brother, and hopefully this will be the beginning of a lot of good things. I miss you guys. I have so much to share with you and tell you, and so much I want to learn and hear from you guys. Oh, here we go. You can see the lights in the ground. See, there's Starry Night. You can really see it there. They're starting to turn on now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. And in fact, straight at this canal here goes straight across that roadway where all the cars are zooming by, and over there's a watermill. I think I got a couple of minutes left on the footage here. I'm gonna go right over there, just a short distance, maybe about 5 football fields, and film the front of the other watermill for you, okay? There you go, Misty and Clayton. Sorry for the poor image quality, but it's pretty dark out here. I'm surprised the camera you can even pick this up. But there's the town of Nuenen, and that's another one of his famous watermills that he painted. You can see the paddles up there, and the river that goes through. And the funny thing is Aaron's soccer club is just right there to the right, and just down about a football field behind these houses over here at this house or barn. And here you can see the placard of his famous painting, if you can make that out. All right, I love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed that. Give me a thumbs up on the video. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.